So you're thinking about buying a home. Is it your first time to buy, or have you bought homes in the past? If you've never bought a home, this video might help you, as we're going to talk about 5 different stages of the buying process, particularly if you choose to use a real estate agent. If you choose to use a real estate agent, they're going to talk to you about some different things in this process. One area is in your area of needs. You'll answer questions like, how much square footage do we need in this home? Location, how far away from work are we willing to travel so we know that we get the right location? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how much acreage do we need? You'll need to answer questions like that so this agent can better help you. This agent will also talk to you about your responsibilities, talk to you about the process. They'll look at your profile. Again, looking at your needs, your wants, but also financing. How are you going to finance this home? Some people can go ahead and just take care of that themselves. For many of us, we need a bank or a mortgage company to help us with that. And your agent will probably give you options as to what that looks like. And you're going to want to contact one or more of those options and get them to do a pre-approval letter for you. What does that do for you? Well, it helps you understand kind of what a payment would look like for a certain price home. So that can help you in the buying process for sure. If you have that letter and you're ready to make an offer, it's a lot easier when you have the bank signed that says, hey, we're going to pre-approve this person for this amount of money. So once you decide upon a real estate agent, who that is, you'll probably be asked to sign a buyer's representation agreement, and that basically connects you to that agent's brokerage. That person, that brokerage is working for you. They are on your side. And so you're not going to want to call other agents and ask them to show you houses, because these folks work off a commission, and there's an agreement there once you sign that representation agreement. So now you're on to the property search. How do you find properties? Well, you probably know that. You're online. You can find them online. You can find them driving down the road. But your buyer's agent is going to also take the information that you've given him or her, and they are going to begin looking into different houses that fit, or different homes or different properties that fit the criteria that you have given them. That's why it's important to do that up front. You're going to go and look at these different properties, and that person is going to help remind you of what you asked for. I want this number of square footage, so this home doesn't meet that criteria, so you're not going to move forward. But eventually, after you look at homes, you're going to probably narrow it down to 1 or 2, and you're going to want to make an offer. You'll sign an agreement, and you will submit that offer. After you've signed that, the buyer's agent will deliver that offer to a listing agent or the seller. And then at that point, the seller will look at it and they can agree, accept that, and they would sign that contract, making it an executed contract, or they may decline. One form of decline is in the form of negotiations. So they may say, I won't accept the price you offered, but I will counter at another price or certain conditions. At that point, you will then need to decide if you're good with that agreement at which you would sign that. Once you have a signed offer, that's where the clock starts ticking. There are certain deadlines you're going to want to talk to your agent about. Deadlines and monies that are due, earnest money that will be due according to the contract. You'll want to pay attention when that's due and make sure that you get it to where it's supposed to go to. You may be given an option and you would spend option money for that option. That's a great thing to do up front. An option gives the buyer the opportunity to opt out of the contract for any reason that they choose up to a certain period of time. So you need to make sure that you understand clearly about earnest money and option money. The clock is ticking. At that point, again, you're going to have inspections that you're going to need to order, possibly a survey, utility questions. So there are certain things that you're going to want to talk to your agent about, and make sure you don't miss any of those deadlines in this process. And you're also going to be working on that financing in this process too. All of these things are working towards that 5th stage, which is the closing. A date will be set. If that date is met, you'll go to the title company. Make sure that you have put aside time on your calendar to where you can be at the closing. You need to make sure that you set time aside. You'll probably do a final walkthrough to make sure that everything that has been agreed upon has been taken care of from the physical perspective of that property. And then you'll want to take your photo ID and the other things that your agent would encourage you to take to go to the closing. You'll get to the closing table, you'll sign more paperwork, you will basically receive the keys. There will be exchange of ownership there. This is a process, again, it can be lengthy, it can be brief, it can be difficult. At times it can be scary. So you want to make sure, if you've never done this, and even if you have done this, it's great to have a person, a brokerage in your corner to help you in this process. We hope you have a great day and happy home hunting.